Hi everyone, my name is Lindsay Klein and I am the lead author here for our content team at Robotel. From talking to and training hundreds of teachers around the world, the feedback is that in a traditional world language classroom, students are all lacking the same thing: listening and speaking practice in the target language. Teachers also say that they do not have enough time to go searching for additional resources and piecing together a perfect curriculum. I can agree with them because I too was a world language teacher at the high school level. This is why I have gathered a team of teachers who used to use SmartClass software in their classrooms, and we came together to create something that would be life-changing for teachers. We created content using the SmartClass technology to provide more opportunities for students to communicate while saving hundreds of hours of time for teachers. How will teachers save that much time, you might ask? Because our content can be assigned at the click of a button, and over half of those activities are automatically graded by our system for you. So no more having to go over every activity question for homework with your students. You'll be able to just go over the ones that they have questions on. Half of them you won't have to scour over to grade. You can leave grading to only the ones that really need your expertise, such as the open recordings or the segmented recordings. We do have an artificial intelligence pronunciation activity that your students can also do, where they can work on speaking and get immediate feedback as well. Since I taught with SmartClass, I can say firsthand that my students had massive growth in their language abilities. They gained confidence, they became comfortable being uncomfortable, and they started reflecting on their own language learning. All of this is truly possible with the SmartClass platform and content, and we couldn't be more excited to show you what we have created. We have currently 3 different books. We have the full curriculum in English called Let's Talk English, and then we also have a new supplemental series for German and Spanish, and it focuses on the skills of listening and speaking. We are working tirelessly to come out with more language offerings as well. But for today, I would love to take the time to show you what we have created for our German teachers and students out there. So I will share my screen and get on the way. So what you should see here is our Deutsch Hörverstehen und Sprechen series, and this is our A1 book, and our other books, A2, B1, B2, are soon to follow. So I will only be showing you the A1 book today though. So you see the beautiful cover, and then at the beginning we offer a wonderful step-by-step guide. So teachers who are a little more apprehensive with technology will really be able to understand how to implement this resource supplementally into their classroom. And any questions that you might have, we have a wonderful FAQ area in our website where you can get all the answers that you're looking for. And if not, we have an amazing support team that is ready at any moment to help answer your questions. So we always start out with an overview. What I really appreciate about this is then you'll be able to see a snapshot of what's in each chapter. So we have 6 chapters per level, and that way you can look at what it is that you're teaching at this current moment in your classroom, or if you're teaching hybrid, or if you're only teaching online, and you will be able to then pull activities out from each section that would be useful for you and your students. At the beginning of every chapter, we break it down even further, where we say, you know, these are the vocabulary topics they're going to be learning. These are the conversation activities that we have available for your students. Our Imaltag is the interviews that we have of native speaking students, where they are unscripted. So you may hear grammar errors, you may hear some slang, and it is definitely at a normal pace, a normal speed. So your students really have to work hard to comprehend what they're hearing. And then of course we have an assessment. What I love about the assessment aspects is it focuses on listening and speaking, which are 2 aspects that are often very difficult to assess. We are very good as teachers of assessing grammar and anything written or any reading comprehension. But when you have a class of 30 and you want to test them all on their oral speaking skills, it's very difficult to find the time to pull them out each individually and take the time to do that. So I love that at a click of a button, all of my students can be recording themselves for a test at the same time. So all of our chapters end with an assessment section to focus on those listening and speaking activities. Then we have a list that helps you see all the different activities in a snapshot, and then the types of activities. So if you wanted to, you could go out and pull out, just a specific type of activity template, or just ones that focus on specific skills. So if you really wanted to only focus on ones that focus on speaking or sprechen in German, you would see at a glimpse which ones focus on speaking, and you could weed out all the other ones. I like showing this. I do see that it is a little bit small for you, but I like to show this because we have over 19 templates in our platform. So what that means is that your students will be engaged, but they'll never be getting bored of the fact that many platforms out there only have, fill in the blank or true and false multiple choice. We have over 19 different activities that will keep your students engaged and will never get bored. So we change it up constantly. Then we start with a vocab list, so you and your students know what kind of vocab that they will be expected to know for this chapter. And then we go right into it. And so each activity is broken down by the chapter, the section, and the activity number. And then we give instructions to you, instructions to your students. You'll see some extra teaching tips here. And then we always give the answers if something is auto-graded, so that you know what your students will be expected to answer in order to get the question correct. So as you can see, it's really well laid out, it's organized, it's colorful, and then we go into conversations, and then you go into the next section. So I'll just scroll down a little bit so you can see a couple more. And then I want to take you into the platform so you actually can see what this would look like live for your students. All right, so I am going to start with a pronunciation activity. Since I told you how wonderful this is for your student speaking, I'm going to highlight more of those activities and just give you a snapshot of what that could look like. But no, I'm not going to show all 19 activities. You'll have to go in and try it on your own in order to see all those. But I really recommend that you do, because I don't think that you'll look much further once you find this platform and how easy it is to use in our content. I really hope that you'll give this a shot. All right. So this is a pronunciation activity. So this is what you will see. Here you could add the definition in for your students. So then when they click on the definition button, they would see the actual answer. How old are you in your native language? So English is my native language, so I would type that in there. And I'm just going to show you one example here. So this is called our flashcards, where students can listen.
Wie alt bist du?
And then they can try to mimic that. Wie alt bist du? Okay, and I got 100%. And if I wasn't sure what this meant by looking at the picture, I could go and I would see my students translate, or my teacher's translation there. Okay, and I could go and I could do another one, but I think you get the point. But really gives the students that immediate feedback. And very interactive. As you would flip these slides, you would go to another picture to help the students for every word in the vocab list, so they really know what it means. All right, the next one I'm going to show you is truly my favorite activity, which is hard to pick just one. I really like what we call the segmented recording. So I'll give you the little preview, but what happens is students will hear questions and then they will give their response in the blank, so it helps with that spontaneous speaking.
Nummer 1. Wie heißt du?
Ich heiße Lindsay Klein.
Nummer 2. Wie alt bist du?
Ich bin 30 Jahre alt. Nur ein Witz. Ich bin 48 Jahre alt. So again, you get the point. But something that the students can interact with. You could make make as many questions as you want. They could keep recording. As you saw, I just hit done when I was done, or it would have allowed me more space to record more information. And then really quickly, I'm going to show you one last activity before wrapping it up. I'm going to show you another great activity, which is called the category match. But we have matches, we have jumbles where you can jumble up word order, you can jumble up sentences, letters. We have the text matches, the image matches, lots of different types of speaking opportunities, lots of writing. We have open text, question and answer. And the best part is 9 of these activity templates are graded for you. So if you create anything on your own, you can also have them automatically graded as well. So it just saves a lot of time and gives students immediate feedback. So this one, they would have to listen to the information that they're listening to in the interviews, and then they would have to go and pull over, you know, how old they are, what their favorite number is, and then where they're from. So I should have read the directions. Here we go, what their favorite number is and how old they are. And I'm just going to guess because I didn't listen to it, but as you can see, any of the matches, they're easily just going to pull things over. You know, so a lot of interactive capabilities in our platform. So that is it as far as that. And then when you would be in them and your students would want to submit them, then you could go and grade them and give them written feedback, give them oral feedback. And it's just, it allowed me to really communicate well with my students and for them to get feedback from the system. But then I also has had the opportunity to give them feedback as well. So my favorite part is that all of this was done in one place. No more binders with papers all over the place. No more wondering which platform I'm using for this, what username, which password. Everything that I wanted to do, I could do in SmartClass. And I flipped my classroom and made everything available here for my students. And again, saw exponential growth of their language abilities. So don't just take my word for it, though. I would love if you took advantage of our trial. We have a free trial available for you and your students where you can go in and you can look at our content, whether you're teaching English, German, or Spanish, assign activities, and get started with it immediately. We really hope that this is the last resource that you're going to be looking for, and we thank you for your time and hope to hear from you soon. Take care.